Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. Going to give you a pretty thorough overview of the article here. Perhaps I'll read through certain sections within the article. There's a link in the description. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. It's pretty gruesome. It is heartbreaking. It's involving the murder of a 17-year-old boy. His name, hopefully I pronounce it correctly. Apologies if I don't. His name, Cion Carroll. He went missing November the 2nd. He was found 10 days later in a shallow grave, deceased and dismembered. He was murdered. At this point in time, there are no suspects. The mother, Tiffany Baker, isn't happy with the police, and that's quite a big part of what we're going to go through here. The mother feels that the police, I'm going to use the word failed, to adequately search for her missing son, Cion Carroll, and since then have failed to provide the family with information in regards to the nature of his death, and further, ultimately, have failed to come up with any suspects. So the mother, Tiffany Baker, feels incredibly let down. She's lost her 17-year-old son. She's naturally completely distraught. But she feels that the police have not done a good job in the investigation nor in communicating with her and the rest of the family after the fact, and ultimately are failing given that they don't currently have any suspects. So I'm going to go into a little bit more detail for you. Cion Carroll lived with his mother in Richmond, Virginia, up until the point that the mother felt that he would be safer if he lived with his grandparents in Lunenburg County, Virginia. So essentially, he was sent to live with his grandparents, and he went missing November the 2nd. All of a sudden, he went missing. All of a sudden. Nobody knows why he went missing. The mother reported her son missing the following day, and the police enacted a search, but the family felt that the search wasn't thorough enough. So the family got involved. They searched the entire area of Kenbridge, which is where they lived, where the grandparents lived in Lunenburg County. The family searched very, very thoroughly. Now, the only lead that was found, I'm not sure if it was found by the police or by the family, but the only lead was that his iPhone pinged his last location at a home off Poorhouse Road in Lunenburg County. Now, the mother is adamant that the police should have searched that area, that property and properties around that area where Sion's iPhone pinged for the final time. However, Tiffany claims, and perhaps her claims aren't entirely accurate, we don't know, but Tiffany Baker, the mother of Cion Carroll, the 17-year-old boy that was murdered, the mother claims that the police did not search that property. Perhaps that's accurate, perhaps it isn't accurate, but certainly that's what this article is telling us, that the mother believes that the police failed to investigate the property in which Sion's iPhone pinged his last location. So the mother says nothing was done about that. No search warrant, no nothing, no anything. In fact, the police made us leave from that property. So seemingly the family got involved to search that area, and the police told them to go away. Tragically, a body was found November the 11th. The following day, it was confirmed to be the body of Cion Carroll. He was found in a shallow grave, and he was found on a property in the 200 block of Seaway, which is not far from the home off Poorhouse Road. So not far from the last known location of Sion's phone. So the police have confirmed that his death is being treated as a homicide. And it's quite obvious why. It's a gruesome death. The mother is again complaining that she was not informed in regards to the details of her son's death until she herself called the Richmond Medical Examiner's office. So she is claiming that the police failed to provide her and the family with information. They failed to communicate the information in regards to Cion's death. But what we do know at this point is that Cion had 2 gunshot wounds, one to his head and one to his back. That second gunshot wound hit his spine. Following that, he was dismembered. Lye was poured over him. Cement was poured over him, and he was buried in a shallow grave. What is lye? Well, I'm not an expert as to what lye is, but lye is essentially, it acts as an acid. I'll tell you what I feel. This is complete speculation on my part. Maybe this is incredibly silly for me to say, but this does sound like a murder. It does sound like something which is planned. And I'm even going to say it sounds like, I would not be surprised if the murderer has done this before. It seems like there was a fair bit of preparation. They made sure they had lye to in an attempt to dissolve the body, perhaps. And they also prepared cement, you know. Perhaps I'm being a bit foolish. A lot of people deal with cement. And really, that's all the information that we have. So ultimately, Cion Carroll was murdered. He was dismembered. He was buried in a shallow grave. Lye was poured over him. Cement was poured over him. He was found close to the last known location of his iPhone pinging. And the mother is distraught. The family feels that they've been let down thoroughly by the police, by the investigators. Perhaps the family have been reasonable, perhaps they've been unreasonable. We can't quite say. We don't know all the details. This article, I've got to say, is one-sided. It's from the point of view of the mother. There's no rebuttal from the police. But it is a terrible, terrible shame. So I'm going to wrap things up at this point. Take care.